Jerusalem is a pain in the whole world's ass. My God gave it to me. No, my God gave it to me. But first of all of you sound like total morons when you start talking about God's giving it to you. And then second of all, you got nothing but wars. Look, bulldozer is my plan for Jerusalem. Bulldoze the whole damn thing so nobody goes back in it. It doesn't have to be extreme in how we deal with our allies. It doesn't have to be either we support them unquestioningly on everything they want or we abandon them completely. It can be a reasonable middle ground. We don't do everything our allies want, whether it's Saudi Arabia or Turkey or England, except Israel. If Israel says something, it's the law of the land. We have to follow completely. And I'm tired of it. I know a lot of people in this country are sick and tired of it. Why? Why do we have to support the settlements? The settlements are outrageous.
I know, and what gets you is the excuse is always, we need this strategically to protect ourselves. Actually, they tend to choose land that's just the more valuable land. And with better water, better location, better groves.
You know what would help you strategically to protect yourself? To go back to the 1967 borders. Okay? Now, people say, sure, the Palestinians don't accept the Jewish state. Well, you don't accept the Palestinian state in the 1967 borders. So? And then, okay, no, but you want to drive Jews. No, I don't. I want two states. I want there to be a beautiful, flourishing Israel that doesn't take Palestinian land. 1967 borders. Do I stutter? What part of that is confusing? No, we have to have certain parts of the West Bank. Then you're going to have war. And I don't want the Palestinians to war. I think they're idiots. I think the way they should go is the way Gandhi and Mandela went. Because it would accomplish, other than the fact that it is a more moral thing to do, it would accomplish their objectives a lot better. Now, having said that, those settlements have been ripping the Middle East and the whole world apart. And what did the U.S. do? Unquestioningly, right or wrong, yes, more settlements. And this is part of the reason why I think James Baker and George H.W. Bush were brave men. They tried to stop it. They failed, but they tried. And you have to give them credit for that.
But if you really wanted to try, it'd be pretty easy to stop. You just wouldn't pay the money.
Of
course. Just wouldn't give them the cash.
Well,
and
that's
you know
what Baker and Bush
tried. And they'd
tried.
come to the table in a heartbeat.
And that's exactly what we should do. But you know what's going to happen? The whole country, not the country, the leaders, political leaders and media leaders would go apoplectic. And you would hear the anti-Semitism, you'd hear they're our allies, you'd hear they're the only democracy in the Middle East.
They throw that out
blah,
all the
blah,
time.
blah, 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 blah. And that's it. I'm drawing the line. For me personally, I can't take it anymore. We have to care about our own interests. That doesn't mean you abandon your allies. That doesn't mean you even weaken your allies. That means you help your allies get to a better place. For the love of God, the endless war isn't helping the Israelis.
And the whole idea of, it's for the good of Israel. It's like, living in New York and my family, my dad's family was Jewish, and you grow up in Israel, and you think, you always heard the argument, Bibi Netanyahu's going to protect Israel, or Ariel Sharon's going to protect Israel. Those two guys have done more to hurt Israel than any Arab leader. The same way George W. Bush has done more to hurt the United States than any Soviet or Chinese leader ever did.
And the same way Arafat has done more to hurt the Palestinian people than any Jewish leader.
They're fools. And we keep giving these fools money and guns. It's crazy.
At this point, Israel realizes, oh, shoot, we can't call ourselves a democracy and have more Arabs than Jews and still be a Jewish state. So that's a fundamental problem for them, and that's what's coming up. And that's why they can't continue to occupy places and say, what? We're fine. We're a democracy and we're a Jewish state. That's why they got to get rid of the occupied territories at this point. That's why I think there's a bit of an opportunity here. And for, both sides do bad things all the time, and Omer's got a lot of issues, but his idea to jettison the West Bank is something that somebody needs to get a hold of and work with. To come up with a solution.
They also have to jettison the West Bank and then not say, okay, all you settlers, we're going to kick these Bedouins and Arabs out of their communities in Israel proper and get rid of them, and you take their houses, because that's what will happen.
Half the wars were started by the Arabs, unquestionably, and half the wars were started by Israel. They're the ones that came up with a brilliant idea of preemptive strike that got us in so much trouble in Iraq. Oh, yeah, I think they might be, or they're about to attack, so what I'll do is I'll wipe them off the entire military off the face of the earth because I thought perhaps they might attack. That's a preemptive strike. And then they say, no, they attacked me. No, they didn't. You attacked them. So, look, and that's not to say the Arabs would have never attacked Israel anyway. That's not to say the Arabs are innocent. That's not to say that the Arabs don't want to wipe Israel off the map. They do, or they certainly did back then, and a lot of them still do now. But you have to negotiate with your enemies. You don't get to negotiate with your allies. And if you give up on the process entirely, then all you're going to have is war and more war, and just get comfortable with it. Because that's what's going to... And then Wes is right. Why am I in the middle of your war? You're choosing to have that war because you're not going to go back to and negotiate a solution with your enemies. And if you're not going to do it, why am I wasting my time, money, and now humans, my citizens in Iraq, as part of that process?